Ultra Instinct looks like shit. I don't like it. Well, kinda. But yeah, it does look like shit. So get this, let's say you make a villain that's too strong. Now you gotta make a new transformation for the heroes to take so that they can beat the villain. What do? You could make a new form that engages the lore of the character's backstory, adding in some interesting context and adding in physical traits from said topic related to that lore, but nah, fuck that. Let's just spike his hair up a tiny bit, but keep it close to normal, and just turn it white when he fully masters it. And what's it called? Migatte No Gokui! Yeah. Or Ultra Instinct, I don't know. Man, I really thought Saiyans were supposed to stay young till they're like 80 or something. Did puberty hit Goku that hard? But jokes aside, Ultra Instinct is essentially the next step in Goku's evolution in Super that we were presented with, and an evolution that has its pitfalls. Looking back at Ultra Instinct, it's been hinted at before, but this was back when it was just called Mastery of Self-Movement. Migatte No Gokui, when translated from Japanese, being Key Of Egoism, or Ultra Instinct, is that movement. But it's a form that, well, you know, it kinda lacks in design. When we were told about this, we were basically told it's a state of mind. So we, or at least I, wasn't expecting too much to begin with. First, let's talk about design. The main issue I have. Ultra Instinct, while being powerful, looks like shit. But not entirely. What I mean by this is that it was a neat design before they chose to plaster Goku's hair white. Ultra Instinct's sign, as they call it, should have been Ultra Instinct. I like the black hair design that sign had, which gave it a more state-of-mind feel to it. Though it did have hints of the fact that it's not just Ultra Instinct, and also a new transformation added onto it. The same one Vegeta acquired to break his limits that gave him the same pupil effect when he went beyond blue. Or royal blue as people call it. Or as the video games call it, Super Saiyan Blue Evolution!
Have you ever felt sad or lonely? Have you ever felt 2 feet tall? Have you ever thought, man, if only I was anybody else at all? They like to kick you when times get rough, and you give your all, but it's not enough. Kill yourself. It'll only take a minute, and you'll be happy that you did it. Just go over to your oven and shove your head in it. Kill yourself. Really, you should do it. There's really nothing to it. Just grab a mug and chug a cup of lighter fluid.
However, unlike Mastered Ultra Instinct, it didn't feel as much like a transformation. There was a genuine aura of mystique that the initial viewings of Ultra Instinct gave us, what with Whis and his words of wisdom about it, and not knowing what it was exactly. And that was really watered down when we see him go from the cool and simplistic conservative design of Ultra Instinct, with a nice aura effect, to basically someone over at Toei recoloring Ultra Instinct and calling it their original character. I am original character, donut steal! If you're gonna recolor the hair, the least you can do is add more changes to it, like what Super Saiyan was. And I know why they made Super Saiyan that way. I just think that if you're gonna change the hair color, change the hair itself too. Besides that though, I honestly liked the idea and the execution was somewhat good in my honest opinion. Give or take a few issues. One such issue being that the build-up wasn't that good. It popped up out of nowhere with nowhere near the build-up of Super Saiyan. Super Saiyan wasn't just built up by Vegeta through his own hearings of the legends, but even people like Ginyu screamed in fear of it, with a fearful expression easily matching that stated fear. It was legends like that which built up Super Saiyan that made it such a great payoff. If they did something like have Whis send Goku and Vegeta off to another realm where time passes by differently before the tournament began, and had them travel to some world where all the mysteries of the godly realm were birthed, and learn of those things there through the town folk and shit, it would have been interesting. They could speak of the legends, and even have someone teach it to them, without having it be a villain or an antagonist to break their limits. However, said mentor would only teach them a taste of it, which would just be the sign, while the true Ultra Instinct comes after they break their limits. It would also make the look in their eyes when they do go beyond their limits with the pupils give off a more otherworldly and enlightened vibe. They would have spent time training for that, maybe an entire little mini arc, and it would have made said look give off a vibe of divinity, or something that you don't just see in any god. A mixture of Saiyan potential and Ultra Instinct. But of course, only Goku got Ultra Instinct, and even that wasn't enough. It also seems really stupid that you'd have him acquire the form, seem to have no problem using it at first, and suddenly, spoiler alert, lose it with no way of transforming back. Despite the fucking fact that he reacquired Ultra Instinct Sign several times in the series. I like the idea of a mastery of self-movement. It had a sort of mythical martial arts vibe to it, like the kind of stuff you see in wuxia martial arts films. Less about boosting power level than other forms, and adding in reaction capability that far exceeded your previous levels. But if you look back, it was stupid in that it had basically just a shoddy recolor that may as well be you adding on years to Goku's chronological age. The dude is already like 46 years old. But it didn't even take him an hour to go from 46 to 80 fucking years old. Simplicity is best, but this is just fan levels of cringeworthy. But I will say that I fully enjoyed the fight between Jiren and Goku when he took the forms of Ultra Instinct Sign and mastered Ultra Instinct. But I fucking hate that recolor, goddammit! This isn't Sonic the fucking Hedgehog! Do you want to see me master Ultra Instinct?
Hell yeah, nigga. Kamehameha!
Hey, Whis. Yes, my lord. Does that look like the Kamehameha to you? No, sir. No, it does not.
Hello there. Is anybody here?
Take us to your master.
Give me a break.